Guys, we have the one and only Enrico Rossi. Enrico is actually on one of my teams here at Cubes, and we're going to discuss the change in the market for office space. Guys, I'm hearing amazing things from people within the Creative Cubes community about BizPay. BizPay is a buy now, pay later for business. If the pandemic smashed your cash flow, you can pay your invoice in 4 while your supplier is paid in full straight away. So if your customer wants to spend more with you, who doesn't want that? They can pay you instantly, BizPay, and the customer can actually end up paying in 4 installments. BizPay.com is where it's at. I'm telling you guys, this is going to revolutionize how you do business. Guys, welcome back to the vlog. This one, they're all special, but this guy is Enrico Rossi. Rico is part of the Cubes team here, and wanted to bring him on the vlog today to talk about a bit of the market shift. So Rico, you sit on the memberships team. Pre-COVID, post-COVID, same?
Massive shift.
Massive shift.
Massive shift, yeah.
Okay.
So we've seen a lot of, I think, the sentiment around, obviously, co-working being a stopgap option originally.
Yep.
And obviously we still provide that in terms of, short leases, whether they be month to month or 3 months. But I think, obviously, as many people have seen, COVID really shifted the way people work.
Yep.
So what we're seeing now is companies that are coming in and rather than even taking up a 12-month minimum term, they're looking for even longer than that, 24, 36 months. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of aligned with that commercial lease in terms of that long term, but there's still flexibility around that.
And so let's just take that as an example, right? I want a 24-month commit, which is amazing, by the way. However, are you seeing a 6-person private office sell to 6 people, or are you seeing that sell to 12, 24 or more?
No, definitely. So obviously you're getting the 6 staff coming in, but you've also got teams that are rotating teams. Mm-hmm. So someone will come in for a 6-desk office, but they'll actually have about 12, 13 staff. Yep. And what this does and provides is that flexibility around, people still working from home, perhaps not feeling comfortable, or they've just found a new way to work. Yep. So yeah, I think it's a really viable option. That's what we're seeing.
I read a Wall Street Journal article, which is really US based, but I think the same thing applies here. The traditional lease really has been uprooted. We here at Creative Cubes, I'm not sure about you, I'd love your view on it, but I see the traditional lease more as a competitor than any other operator in co-working flex. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm reading in the Wall Street Journal is a lot of companies are shrinking their footprint, their corporate HQ, because they're kind of stuck really in these long-term leases, but they're shrinking their corporate HQ. They never thought about flex or co-working historically because they didn't have to. But now, having had everyone go home in Melbourne anyway for 2 years, coming back, the sort of office as it was kind of doesn't really resonate. No, doesn't really work for them anymore?
No, definitely different. I think, obviously if you're comparing us to a traditional commercial lease, I think from a contractual obligation, they're stuck in it for 5 years. But with us, I think even if you're in that longer term, minimum term, they've still got that flexibility to, their HR teams can reduce their staff, shrink their size, but then they can also grow within that too. So I'm just seeing that.
And so one of the other things that I think we're seeing as well, but you see it because you're on the front line there more so than I, but we're seeing a lot of companies that have had the traditional lease, when they go to expand, like I had a conversation with a guy out of Sydney last week, and he's like, we took a 5-year lease on a property because we just couldn't get what we needed. And already we're like, we haven't even opened the doors and it's already too small for us because we've grown too quickly, or we've grown faster than anticipated. I think that in this environment, not only do we see clients scale up, scale down, but the 4 walls is not a restriction on their,
Definitely not. And I think, I've had the same sort of conversations with members here. Like if you're shifting it to conversations I'm having at Creative Cubes, you know, we have a company that has 7 desks, and they literally came in probably within the first 3 months. They needed to expand their operations.
Yep.
Now, if you're going into a commercial lease, that obviously may not
Restricted,
be the
yeah.
case. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear it from so many different facets, right? They're the big business, where actually all the staff are out on the road and 2 or 3 people are in the office.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you're 2 or 3 people in a office in a traditional lease, there's only 2 or 3 of you there. And if 1 or 2 of you is out for some reason, kind of leaves sort of you by yourself.
Yeah.
And so loneliness in business is something that we solve for. But when you take that exact same scenario and there's only 1 of you, but there's 12 people in your company, but only 1 of you on property, you know, there's still 400 or 500 other people that you can still rub shoulders with, still elevate your day.
Absolutely.
I'm hearing a lot about companies that have grown up inside of us. I'm not saying maturity-wise, but they've come in with 2 people and they're now at 15 or 20. They have adopted the Cubes culture. I think James, you might be a participant there.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's great to see, like, you know, for us, we want to make positive change in the world. We can do that in the sort of 4 walls that we operate and control. However, it's great to see and hear that sort of stuff from a culture and people perspective, actually going beyond our team,
Definitely.
beyond our community, and actually being impregnated into organizations that are growing at scale. That's very, very fulfilling. Rico, what are you seeing over the next sort of, like, you know, if you had not a crystal ball, but like if you sort of drew a line from the activity you're seeing here today or over the last 6 months to sort of the next 12, 24, what are you thinking?
Definitely, I mean, I hate to harp on it, but definitely see people using us as sort of like a long-term option. And I'm talking beyond, you know, your 3 years,
Yep.
Which is great. And that's great because obviously Cubes is expanding. We're going to have, you know, a wider network of places. And I think that's great to keep things fresh within a business. So they're coming in, you know, perhaps maybe moving from South Melbourne to Hawthorne and just kind of changing things up. And I think that's really important in business.
I just got a text message from someone that said they want to expand and merge another team. Could we custom build them something in Collingwood? And the answer is absolutely yes, but only for a limited time, because that's going to come online in the next couple of months and the walls are going to be put in. So it's going to give us a bit of a tougher situation to, well, it's not impossible. I mean, we moved some walls for Gammy Chicken. They were one of yours super early on. To accommodate Jun and the team. So, mate, it's awesome. I feel like the pandemic has sped us up, opportunity-wise, and I'm just so glad. Like, we thought that Flex would be an adoption way into the future, but actually Flex is actually a primary solution for a lot of companies. And we're here to serve and help, guys. Enrico Rossi, everyone, you can hit him up, memberships@creativecubes.co, or Enrico@creativecubes.co. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Cheers, James.